had 5 pom-poms, and I will give me 1 more.
One of them just came up, looked at me, and went like this. Well, we know what that means. The sign, this one they keep putting up, this was the old ISIS symbol. One, meaning one God, one religion, one faith, one leader, symbol of unity and power. They were all saying, one day I hope to kill you, one day I want to slit your throat.
Basically, there was an Al-Qaeda raid conducted by the Rangers, 100+ enemy killed in action. There was a baby found on target with a fractured skull, fractured left femur, and second-degree burns on her face and neck from her mother blowing herself up running at a Ranger. This is a custody battle between you guys and the Taliban.
له باوري سرچینو څخه د ترلاسه شویو معلوماتو پر بنسټ د امریکا متحده ایالاتونو په ورجینیا ایالت کې د امریکایي سمندري ځواک یو عسکر جوشوا ماست چې د دوی په بمبارد کې د
He was asked at one point in all this, like, what makes you remember that night? And he said, I think that's the first time I was able to put a face to what evil looks like.
بهرنیو چارو وزارت دا چې زیاده اندېښنې وړ د انساني کرامت لري او بشرضد کړنه بولي.
This is the fucking reality of the world, people.
Her dad has her, and he's using her as a human shield. And he's got an AK. And he's engaging the Rangers at the compound entrance. He's trying not to shoot this baby while he's killing this terrorist. And he's shooting.
This is Sparrow?
This is Sparrow.
So she's the first?
One of the first things they saw. And it's pretty open terrain with a little ravine where they had approached the target through to cover. So they have both of these structures pretty isolated with good visibility. It's mostly the Rangers, just room by room by room, clearing these structures. There's good and bad people everywhere on Earth, but in this particular location, there's some evil people.
Like, who are these attorneys?
So
spineless. Like, seriously, dude? You're gonna take a five-year-old girl and send her back to that shit for your fucking paycheck? How do they justify it to themselves?
Because I think they think that she's gonna stay here. They think that she's gonna have this nice little picket fence life with these Afghans here, and what they don't realize is these people are proxies, are puppets of the Taliban that have their family in Afghanistan.
I was wondering if you could, at some point, if you have a minute, send him a voice message about just asking how she's doing, or if she's okay with the explosions going off or whatever. I kind of like to figure out where she is, and I'd also like to know how she's doing, but if you have time.
The Rangers took shelter on the far side of the structure. The dog handler just vividly describes, like, making sure he was dead, peeking in, making sure he wasn't moving, making sure he was dead. The first time he sees what was her biological mother is he describes her running from the room, screaming bloody murder. And he is obliquing off the corner to kind of get an angle at the new breach they just made in the wall. And he said that she got about 15 feet away from him and then partially detonated. They get an order from the 2-star that no one in US4A will advocate for this child. I've got the order. It's a draft. It wasn't signed. It was a verbal order he never signed. But it was, you will not advocate for this child. All questions lists will go to the embassy.
And we were scrambling up to the very end to trying to get a hold of Trump, any decision maker trying to just...
The president visited Bagram for Thanksgiving. And we were waking people up in Afghanistan, like, go to the chow hall, find the president, have him meet her.
There were literally people running around base
100 yards,
trying to find him.
100 yards from the hospital.
I mean, they use these kids to kill people too. I mean, when I was there, they They would fill up their bicycle tires with explosives and have them ride up to the gate or ride up to a convoy or ride up to personnel, and then the kid doesn't even know that the bicycle tires have explosives in them, and they blow the kid up just to kill an American. So that's who we're dealing with here. That's
Absolutely.
This is who you're in a custody battle with.
This is a Taliban Elian Gonzalez situation. And I think the president should intervene and save her from the deep state.
Well, real quick, this will be the only light part of the interview, I'm sure, but Vigilance Elite gummy bears made in the U.S., just candy. There's no funny business in
Okay, I
there.
don't have to worry about
Don't worry.
analysis. Okay, got it.
Don't worry, you're going to pass your drug test.
Well, our kids will probably confiscate them.